So we are live. Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. I am so excited. It is Thursday. For a lot of people, Thursday is good because Friday is around the corner, right? So that is a good thing. Hello, hello. Soribel Martinez here. Oh my goodness, I am so excited because I have a guest today. And we are going to be talking about her experience working with me and also utilizing the multi-million dollar private practice framework. So before we get started, let me make sure that we are good, making sure that we are live. I'm sure we are, but I want to make sure that we are. Yes, we are, and we are looking great. If you are here, share, share, share. So let me tell you what we're doing today. So I have an amazing guest here, Cassie Uribe. Cassie is a clinical social worker as well, and she has a private practice. She's the owner of her own business, and she has been doing great work out there in the world. So today we're going to have a conversation about her case study, using my services. What are some of the things that she has accomplished? What are some of the things that she still wants to work on that we were going to be working on in 2024? But first, let me introduce myself just in case you guys don't know me. Don't forget to share this video, tag another therapist who is in private practice so they can also come and learn a little bit about what we're talking about. So my name is Soribel Martinez. I am the a licensed clinical social worker, CEO of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services, best-selling author of the book Unbreakable, and I have a new book coming. My multi-million dollar private practice amazing book is on pre-order and is being launched in May 2024. So let's get started. Hi, Cassie. How are you?
Hi, great. Thanks for having me.
I am so happy that we're matching yellow today. Was that on purpose?
Yes, it wasn't even on purpose.
That was the energy, right? Just brought us into the energy
In
of where.
sync. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Cassie, I am so honored to know you and to also being your coach, your mentor, your consultant. I love to see women win, and I love to see women doing big things in the world. So, introduce yourself and tell people who you are, what you do, what's the name of your practice. Give us a little hint about who Cassie is. I know you have an amazing story too, right? And tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, I'm Cassie Uribe. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm licensed in Washington State and Arizona, where Arizona is where I'm based now. I have my private practice that I've taken from solo private practice to a group with your help this year. The solo practice was Cassie Uribe Counseling and Consulting, and that had been an active, established practice for about 5 years now, and recently grew to the group, which is now Blue Agave Therapy and Wellness Services. I have 4 clinicians working with me, and I even have a staff person who helps me with like marketing and other administrative tasks. So it's like, I always say it's weird to say, but yeah, I have the business, I have people working with me, I've got a team, and it's been a really exciting journey, but that's where I am now. And it feels really amazing to be in this position because most of my career has been in like public service work, community mental health, hospital,
Mhm.
and I never thought I'd be here and actually really enjoying it and finding it really rewarding. So that's who I am and what I do in a nutshell.
Yes. So, what made you go into clinical work? What was the thing that made you decide, like, hey, I want to help people with their mental health?
Yeah, well, I was originally thinking medical school, and that's where I started out. But then, long story short, medical school, it's not meant for me.
It was
And
not
so And so I even worked as a medical assistant for a few years. I really thought it was the medical route that I wanted to go to help people be healthier. And so did a lot of school, a lot of searching. I was doing public health for a little while, and then through public health I found social work, and then through social work is where I really found mental health and doing like one-on-one kind of group and or one-on-one support and like group support and things like that. um, then quite honestly, I just in my job I heard that people were doing private practice on the side, and I'm like always thinking about, oh, was this another income stream I could possibly explore? And so just out of curiosity, I gave it a try and loved it. So um, always drawn to helping people be healthier in a very, I always wanted to do it in a very holistic way. And even I envisioned myself if as a doctor, as an MD, doing my own practice and working with my patients the way I would want, which is like giving them time, giving them space to share their story and all of that. And so I'm doing that now, just
Yeah.
in a different way than I had originally anticipated. So I think I've always been drawn to the clinical work. I just didn't know it was going to go this path.
Yes, yes. I
Mhm.
also started with medical school. I went
Mhm.
to undergrad. I did bachelor's in biology and a bachelor's in psychology. Went to medical school for 2 years, but honestly, I did not like it.
Yeah.
I was like, do I need to do all this to really be a psychiatrist? Like, can we just jump
Mhm.
to what we need to jump to? And I was like, no, this is not for me. And I left medical school and also found my way. You
Mhm.
see how the universe works? Like, it kind of
Yes.
people together with similar values, similar goals, similar. There's a lot of similarity on us. Cassie, tell me a little bit about. Uh, why did you decide to contact me? What was that like? What were you looking for that made you said, oh, maybe I want to work with Soribel?
Yeah, well, I had completely DIY'd my whole private practice, the solo private practice. Like I just did the research, I asked around, I read posts and blogs about how to do that, made the phone calls to, the Department of Revenue, Departments of Labor, all the places. I just like did it all myself, and built my own website. Like I did all that all myself, and I got to a certain point. It'd been like 4 years, established private practice going well, and love working with my clients, but then really felt drawn to want to work with more people and expand my reach. And I started doing that with clinical supervision, but then through clinical supervision, actually, was people were saying like, "Hey, are you going to have your own group practice? I want to work with you." And so I was like, "Okay, let me look into this." So same fashion, I kind of like did some research, read up some blogs, listened to some podcasts, following like accounts that were therapists that had done it. And on LinkedIn, which is where I found you, really felt like an answer to a prayer, because I felt like I was really looking for someone who could help me that was very niche, a social worker, a woman of color, Latina preferably, and
Yeah,
someone who's like already done it.
yeah.
And then you kind of like, I don't know, the algorithm brought you to me, or the universe brought you to me. And so I was almost like in disbelief when I learned about you, that you were like exactly what I was looking for. So what I had realized is that I do need help. I have a full-time private practice, practicing a lot of clients, and I did not have the time to do the DIY group practice like I did in my solo practice. So I knew I needed to get some extra support, consultation, something. And that's what led me to reach out to you.
It's interesting because I don't even remember how we connected. Like,
No, yeah.
I don't know if I sent you a connection, if you sent me one. I don't know, but we got connected. And when
Hmm.
you reach out, I was like, who is this person? You never like commented on anything. Really, we have not had any type of like personal conversations or anything like that when you say, hey, I want to learn more about your work. So that's truly amazing. And I tell people all the time, like, this is why you should have an online presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know who you're impacting. You never know who's reading you. Like, I get requests all the time. Hey, Soribel, can I work with your private practice? I don't even know the person. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know the person, but the person knows me from the presence, right, on social media, from my brand, from the work that I do. So that attracts people, right? And people
Right.
start being interested in what you're doing. So that is so amazing. So that was accomplished. That has been one of the goals. Like, I want people to get to know about my work that I don't even know where they come from, and then I am impacting them in the way that I want to, the goal is to really impact you in a big way so you can get your business to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were your objectives, your goals in starting coaching and consulting?
Well, I honestly didn't come with any goals or objectives. I needed help figuring that out because I didn't know what I was doing or where to start, um, or what was like the first step. Like, I kind of had an idea of what some of the steps were, but I didn't know like how to go about it or what to prioritize, things like that. So that was part of it was getting help with clarifying my goals and objectives. I just knew my main goal was to start the group practice, and I really wanted to do it in a way that was sustainable and could continue to grow. So that was something we talked about, I think, in our very first like phone call. It was like
Yes.
it said that, yeah, it's that the way you do things is you have like a really strong foundation. So like, yeah, you can have a couple of clinicians, but there's no limit. You have the strong enough foundation, you can like grow and grow and grow as big as you want. And I thought, that's what I need. Tell me how to do it. Cause I didn't know outside of that, I didn't know what I wanted. I just know I needed some help and guidance.
Yes, and it's still true to this day. I mean, not that we
Mhm.
have met too long ago. I just launched my first in-home program, and it's amazing how the framework works, right? Because now that I want to launch this program and I'm hiring for that program and I'm growing that program, I see how having a strong foundation in my business truly supports that.
Mhm.
So everything continues to work perfectly. It's just up, right? Because the foundation is strong, everything now is going, and I can see I already hire people. I already hire a clinical director. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it does work having a strong foundation, because
Yeah.
if we don't have the foundation, it's like a house. What happens to a house that doesn't have columns, that doesn't have
Mhm.
foundations, right?
Mhm.
It falls apart when the wind
Yeah.
comes around, right? So once we start working together, what were some of your goals in terms of the work that you wanted us to do together?
Um, yeah, so I wanted to hire some clinicians to start seeing some clients. I was really wanting that to be not only a way to grow, but also to help transition me out of seeing as many people as I was in, direct service to them, and kind of like transfer them over, so that I can have more time to do some of the other things that I wanted to do, like writing my book and having more of an online presence and creating like more content, again, to expand my reach. That was the original like vision. Um, and also like what to do as far as like, should I take insurance? Should I not take insurance? And how do I go about that? Um, so that was the most immediate like goal, or what I needed the most help with. And also figuring out like the taxes and things like that with growing a group practice, and then also having it in 2 states makes it a little bit more complicated. But um, straight away, I think not in our first phone call, but in our first meeting, you connected me with people that have been tremendously helpful, um, that I even from the first meeting, I felt like, oh my gosh, I am totally getting my money's worth from this coaching. Even just in these connections that have helped me so much and continue to help me so much. So that, yeah, is something that will continue to bring value to me.
Yeah. So what I see here is a mindset shift, right? You did a mindset, you change your mindset from doing it myself and reading blogs and kind of like figuring out myself to doing the coaching, the consulting, and shifting the mindset of I deserve to be supported in this. I don't have to do everything myself. I can actually have a team because they're part of your team. Your accountant is part of your team. Your
Copywriter.
the copywriter, right? All these people are part of your team, and you have done that shift quickly, right? It takes sometimes people a long time to understand that you don't have to do everything. All you need to do is focus on your clients and working on your business. And how does it feel for you? How did that improve your confidence and your decision making?
It improved my confidence quite a bit because I had a lot of people. It felt like I had a lot of people on my team like right away. And also feeling like really validated and reassured that I'm like doing the right thing and also I'm on the right track and staying in line with my vision and values and everything. So that really helped me to keep moving forward, where I can see if I did not have those people and that support, I might have like slowed it down or maybe stopped or said like, oh, it's not the right time, or I don't have the bandwidth for this. But um again, having those people on my team, still having those people on my team keep me going. So yeah, because it hasn't been easy. Still, it's like hard work and it's constant mindset work. But I think it would have been a completely different experience if I was doing it by myself like I did the first time.
No. So for me, it's like the same thing you're saying, like it's a continuous work. Like I've been in private practice for 5 years now. And when I started thinking about I want to create a new program, I had to do the mindset work, right? I have to like do the work on to not allow my mind to want to keep it small, right? And understanding that I have the tools and the strategies and that I have power to make decisions to bring
Right.
people that can help me out and support me. So how many therapists you have right now?
I have 4.
You have 4, and
Mm-hmm.
you are doing self-pay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find self-pay more difficult than insurance? Do you feel like there are some differences in terms of the marketing and also to acquire therapists to want to do self-pay?
Yeah, those are great questions because, well, first one is it's absolutely easier to do self-pay, but it is different. I wouldn't say necessarily harder, but it's different in the marketing. The approach has to be different. How you do it. Yeah, it has to be different. I wouldn't say it's necessarily harder. It's just different.
Yeah.
And then the clinicians, um, they wanted to do self-pay. They want to stay with self-pay. So that worked really well. And the reasons why are because it is complicated to work with insurance and getting credentialed and all of that. So they were like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm like, perfect. Neither do I. So that worked out. Mhm.
Yes, because the approach to a self-pay practice and insurance based practice is totally different, right? The
Mhm.
marketing is different, the clientele is different, the language that we use is different, right? The
Mhm.
message is different. So how long it took you to get those 4 people once we started working together?
Um, it was pretty quick, actually. They basically, once I kind of announced that I was officially like opening up the group practice to take on clinicians, they reached out to me like, hey, I heard you were doing this. Can I join you? So two of them were clinicians that I had supervised, provided clinical supervision before, but the other two just had heard about it and were like, yeah, I'm kind of done with my agency job and I want to explore private practice. Can I work with you? So that felt really easy. I didn't have to like search very far. But yeah, it was pretty quick.
So that means that you really have not spent money to acquire therapists.
Correct. I haven't even had to post a job posting.
Can you imagine what's going to happen when you start posting these jobs next year when we start all of this? Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready for all of that?
I mean, I know I like mentally, I'm like, oh, I got to mentally prepare, but I feel confident that the business is ready. I have the things in place to be able to take that on. But mentally, I'm like, imposter syndrome. Like, am I that kind of boss? I don't know.
Like 2 weeks ago, I hired 6 people, and this week I have hired 3 people, right? So your mind wants to go there. What did you do? What are some of the strategies that you and I worked on to kind of like tell the imposter syndrome voice, like, go take a seat over there. You do not belong over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, basically that was it, kind of like acknowledging it and saying like, that is not true that you're an imposter. That's just the imposter syndrome voice. And let's look at what's actually happening here. And what's actually happening here is, yes, you're hiring. Yes, you have people working with you. Yes, you have clients that need therapists and you're matching them. Like, this is what we all did. This is what we're here for and why we're doing this. So I'm really having to like just challenge those thoughts by looking at the actual evidence of what was going on and the action steps I was taking and the results.
The reality, right? Instead of just being in our mind and imagining all the words or whatever it is that our mind is trying to tell us. So what are some of the results that you have tangibly obtained with working with me?
Yeah, well, I mean, being a group practice now is the biggest one. And then everything that's associated with that, the expanding to a different state as a group practice, having the clinicians now and having all of those like behind the scenes systems in place. Let's see, so many little things that are like behind the scenes that people don't see, but that's the stuff you helped me with the most. But on the outside, it's, yes, I have the group practice now, and that did not exist before I started working with you. Even just like the name, getting feedback on the name and all of that.
Yes. So how are you balancing? Because for me, it's also about self-care, right? We're not just gonna work ourselves to the bone. We also want to take care of ourselves. How are you managing and improve your self-care and balancing your work life and being a business owner?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've kept my 3-day weekend, even though I've had the temptation to work Mondays again, because that is definitely a day I could use to like see clients or do more work. But I definitely still keep my Saturday, Sunday, Monday weekend. And that's been really, really helpful. And also, as much as I want to go like 100 miles an hour full speed with all of these goals, being okay with slowing it down if I need to take care of my health, if I need to attend to like family things, that's been hard because I have like a train kind of like power and momentum and speed with like a bicycle brake. I don't want to slow it down. I feel like I can't slow it down, but that's been something that you've really helped me to give myself permission to do. And that's been huge in maintaining my self-care, not taking on too much, not going too fast if I can't do it right now. And then using that if there if that's a motivator for me, which it is, to getting my clinicians with more clients and things like that, freeing up more space and time to be able to go faster and do more things.
Yeah. So, has the work kind of like gotten you ready for future goals? How does the framework helps you not just be in the present moment in working in your business, but with the short term, medium, and long term goals?
Mm-hmm. I see how I can apply the framework to all of my goals, um, because it really starts with having a strong foundation, including um, having systems and um, tools and things in place before trying to grow and grow and grow. I love the analogy of the house on the like weak foundation, because a lot of times too, you'll see the house and it might even stand for a while just fine, but in time it most definitely will break down. And I really want to go into this with a longevity like kind of mindset. So I can see how the framework will apply to just about everything I take on, like the books I want to write, the nonprofit I want to start. The framework's gonna apply to all of them.
Yeah, and once we take on it's the new year, we're surely going to be working on your nonprofit. I have some connections for you, so
Great.
that is, yes, that is going to be amazing. So tell me about your how have you grown as a leader? Because the truth is that we are leader, right? We are
Mm-hmm.
leaders, and we can understand that consistency is the key. This is not about us showing up in the world like making a lot of noise and then disappearing. This is a long time journey. What are some of the skills that you have acquired as a leader?
Yeah. Well, one thing I really learned from you is that a lot of the ways that I wanted to be a leader that I actually felt insecure about, you reassured me that I could do that. So I think, again, it's all mindset work. I think I had in my mind about what a leader of a big like business or company looks like or acts like, and I had some internal conflict about that, because I was like, I don't want to be like that kind of boss, um and so does that mean that maybe I'm like not cut out for that kind of growth? And what I learned from you is that one, something I already knew, but it was a good reminder, is like those kind of leaders don't have teams that are really that successful. They usually like fall apart. They're constantly having to like rehire and retrain. Um, and the way that I want to lead is actually more conducive to having people like be happy and working with you and like feeling good doing the work. Because again, I'm thinking longevity. I'm not thinking about, or I'm not trying to do this like fast growth
So,
thing. I want it to be really intentional and aligned with my
yeah,
values, which is all part of the leadership. And I don't know why I had that like separate. I thought, oh, this is just how I am as a person, but I need to learn how to be a leader. But you helped me to realize that no, actually, those are all ways you are a leader, and how you're going to lead your team. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. And
like,
it's been working really well.
yeah, great. Like, think about, you are a leader of your family. You have
Yeah.
children, right? You have
Hmm.
grown children, you have small children. You are a leader in your family. Think about being a Latina. Are you the first Latina in your family to kind of like go to school and have a business?
Have a business.
Have a business.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
leadership. You
Hmm.
are the first one to uh, take on this responsibility of shaping the generations to come and building that legacy for your children and your grandchildren and everybody else that's going to come after you. So this is so important to not think like, I don't, you can be the leader that you want to be.
Hmm.
And for me, and what we have worked on together is we want people that can be leaders too,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
we don't have to be afraid that we're going to lose them or they're going to go, because if they're comfortable working with us, they will stay. And if their time is up, they will move forward. But
Hmm.
still was that person that led with confidence. You have that compassion, you have that flexibility. You give people permission also to be flexible with themselves and have self-compassion,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So we don't have to be like anybody else. We can develop our own leadership skills and allow ourselves to do that openly.
Yep.
Great.
Hmm.
Okay, so we are now kind of like wrapping it up. So,
Okay.
in conclusion, what would you tell people out there that are trying to figure out themselves and they're like, oh, yeah, I can do this and I can do that and I can do it all? How does it feel to feel fully supported? Even we're going to still deal with the life, like health issues and the kids and the husband and life and this and that. What do you say to those people that want to be the do all be all in their businesses?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, what I would say is what I've told myself. The truth is that you could do it all. You could learn the things, you could DIY your way through it, but you don't have to. You don't have to. And what you get back from getting the right support and the right guidance and the right consultation is so much more than just time. You do get that back, but you get energy, you get space to just be yourself as a human, also to have more creativity, to give more energy to more of your ideas and things that you want to do. Um, and that is priceless right there. So,
Yes.
yes, you could. You absolutely could learn it all and do it all yourself. You just don't have to. And why put yourself through that?
And the results are going to be different. Let's be realistic, right?
Yes.
For example, if I want to
Hmm.
hire 6 people in 1 week, it will look very different if I'm doing all of the pieces of hiring 6 people, right? If I'm doing the HR myself, if I'm doing
Right.
the credentialing and the billing and the writing of the profile and the marketing I mean, eventually you're going to burn out. You are going
Hmm.
to out and you are not going to be able to sustain.
Right.
And this business is about sustainability, right? Being sustained. Research shows that in 5 years, there's a large percentage of businesses that die. They disappear, right? Because a lot of times we are not planning long term. We're not
Hmm.
planning for the crisis, for losing a family member, for family stuff, for a spouse stuff, like, and being a business owner actually give us the opportunity that if we have a team, right, they can be working behind the scene on things while you are caring for yourself or you are caring for your family.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what would you tell them? What is your recommendation for them? Do you recommend the framework? What do you think is the first step that they should take?
Yeah, I definitely recommend the framework because it works. And I'm very much like a supporter of what works. So I definitely recommend that. Your book is a great place to start, but I think people will find once they like read your books, I should say, they'll want to work with you. And I've read the books and I still want to work with you because there it's not enough. Just reading the book is more still with like I'm going to learn this on my own and apply this by myself. Um, but you just do need the feedback, you need the accountability. There's so many nuanced things that come up that you really just need to have someone to help you. So I would say you could start with the books, but definitely be open to investing in coaching because it's investing in yourself and in your business with um, returns that are beyond just like your bottom line.
Yes. Like, and the truth is, I have my own coaches. I have marketing coaches, business coach. I have support all over the place. And the reason why I do that is one of the reasons is because I know that I'm a queen and queens require to be supported and we deserve to be supported, period. Right. But beyond that, I know that in my purpose and my vision, I also want to provide jobs, opportunities for others, and I want others to be able to tap into their own greatness and their own abilities and qualities and gifts and talents that God gave to them. I'm not talented in all the things. It's
Mhm.
impossible. Like if you are talented in everything, you're not talented in anything because you can't focus on one thing.
Mhm.
So I have my own coaches. I get my own support. I have a big team. Now we're growing. Now we're going to have two clinical directors. I'm launching this new program. All of that is not done just me. I am here directing the show, right?
Mhm.
But everybody has a performance to do. And I have to be willing and available to give them permission to be in their greatness and in their gifts so they can fulfill their own purpose in life, right?
Mhm.
That's how I look at it. And I like creating job opportunities for people. And I like to believe that I was created for more than just like come, sleep, go eat, and go to, and die. Like that's not what
Mhm.
I do. So I want to really thank you, Cassie, for coming on.
My
I think
pleasure.
at some point this year we're going to do a second part of this because there's a lot of things that you still want to explore, want to grow. Where do you see your practice next? What is the next thing that you want to really work on?
Yeah, in the practice, I'm probably adding clinicians because the goal right now is getting their caseloads filled, which it's a slow and steady process, which is working for all of us that way. But I do see adding more clinicians and growing the team,
Right,
um, and having a clinical supervisor other than myself. That will
good,
probably be the other big thing. Um, and
no,
then, yeah, that's like probably the short term
good, good,
main
yeah.
goal.
Yeah, that's really great work, and I want to see you opening up your nonprofit. That's going to
Yeah, and the
happen.
nonprofit. Yep.
Have some great resources for you to do
Great.
that. And I want to thank you for trusting me, for believing in me, right? You really didn't know me like that.
I
And
didn't.
you really didn't know me like that. But you trusted the process, you trusted your instinct and your gut. And I want to thank you for that. Any last words before we close it?
Well, thank you. Thank you for all your support. And what people should know too about you is you don't just support the business. You've even you've slowed me down sometimes. And you're like, wait, let's talk about this thing in your personal life first, really quick, before we move on. And I so appreciated that because it's life stuff. It's not work stuff and personal stuff. It's just life stuff. It's all connected. And that has been so amazing. I just feel so supported and like you really care and have my back and
Of course. Of
yeah, that's
course.
been amazing. So thank you so much. So grateful.
You're very welcome. Well, guys, we'll come to the end. If you want to learn more about my services, go to unbreakable.soribelmartinez.com. In there, you are going to find resources that you can choose what path you want to take to get to know more about what I'm doing. The truth is, like women like Cassie are doing work every day, and we're going to bring more cases as we continue to grow. I have some amazing clients. I am very grateful. I am very honored to have these amazing women. They're smart, they're beautiful, they're talented, they know what they want. We all just need a little bit of support, and we all need support, and we should all have support. So I will talk to you next time, guys. Bye. Adios.